Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I woke up this morning feeling great. And the first thing I did when I woke up was I farted. And it was loud as a motherfucker. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a spot in life where, it's just like, it's like the fucking, it's just like a freeway, man. You can just do what you want. And this morning, it was one of those rare cases where, nobody was around. So it was like, it was a free fart zone. So I cocked my leg up and I let that bitch rip, buddy. I'm talking about this morning was like the fucking Autobahn for farts, man. I had them bitches zipping. And they were pretty amazing. I went to this place last night as a barbecue place. And I'm going to tell you, it was amazing. And anybody knows that, Eastern Carolina is famous for vinegar sauce. Well, I'm going to tell you something about vinegar sauce. That shit is like plutonium in a nuclear bomb. Think about plutonium for a fart. I mean, you can really let off some boomers when you're eating fucking vinegar sauce. And basically, what I'm trying to do today, because I know everyone's not comfortable with farting, is give y'all a couple different ways to release a fart around someone without them ever knowing that you did it. The first fart I'm going to talk about is called the one cheek sneak. The one cheek sneak takes practice. You apply weight to one side of your ass. This is something you want to do. You can't do it standing up. If you can one cheek sneak standing up, you're like the fucking last airbender of farts. Like you have went, super fucking saiyan when it comes to farts. It's, please get at me if you know how to stand up in one cheek sneak. You're a bad motherfucker. So the one cheek sneak is basically where you're sitting in a chair and you lean your body weight to one side. You have to gradually do this, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm leaning to one side, and one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to release the bubble prior to leaning, and then you'll have this uncomfortable air bubble stuck between your butt cheeks, and you have to have a place for it to go. I tend to lean to my left. I don't know why. I'm just more comfortable that way. And as a side note, you don't want to try to one cheek sneak in like a hard plastic chair, because I'm going to tell you, if a one cheek sneak gets away from you, a fucking hard chair will amplify the shit out of it, man. I mean, you will carry that shit over to the next county. Somebody down the line, probably, possibly even up to a mile, depending on, the size of your fart, might get a little upset with you. And you don't want that these days. I mean, we got civil unrest going on. We've got some crazy shit. I'm telling you, buddy, a fart can spark a fucking war. It can. It can start a fight between you and your best friend. It can start a fight between you and your old lady. Hell, man, you might have a civil fucking war over a fart. I mean, it just literally, when emotions and energies are at an all-time high and they're charged, all it takes is just a little spark. Or a little fart. So, that's basically if you've released the bubble. And usually if you just lean and then you lift up on the other side and separate like that, like I just did. Like, I know you can't see it because I don't have a selfie stick or somebody to film me. I'm here by myself. And yes, I'm totally comfortable talking about this. I really don't give a fuck. It usually just dissipates, it'll usually just, it'll break apart. It's kind of like when a hurricane hits land, it just breaks apart. You get a little bit of rain or something. Like, you don't want to get rain with a fart. You get rain with a fart, you're in a whole lot of fucking trouble, buddy. You better hope you're close to a shower. But that's the easiest method for releasing a one cheek sneak. Now, you also have the one cheek sneak where you can't get the air bubble out. Now, this is where you have to apply couth. You have to have couth. You have to have a little bit of skill, and you have to really be in control of yourself. It's like riding a manual on a skateboard. It's fucking tough. And it's never, you can never tell when it's getting away from you till it's too late. But the rule of thumb is if it gets away from you, you got to try to engage in an act of subterfuge. So, like, if you get like a little burn like that, cough. Try to cover it. Hope nobody heard it. But if it's like one of those situations where, you're having like a conversation you don't want nobody to hear in the middle of a party, and the record skips, and you just happen to be talking loud as a motherfucker because the music's going. You just got to go with it. Don't try to shy away from it. Just rip that motherfucker and look around and be like, what? Y'all don't got asses? Shit. Make me feel guilty. Y'all motherfuckers jealous? You gotta own that shit. And that's like what I was talking about with yesterday. You make a mistake, you own it. When you try to hide it, that's what makes you look guilty. That's what makes you look stupid. I mean, if somebody's really gonna be that mad at you over a fart, man, that says a lot about who they are. Fuck them. Do what you gotta do. You lose a friend, God forbid you lose an old lady. As long as you don't start a war. Count it all as a win. So that's the one cheek sneak method. The next method is if you get the air bubble stuck, if you're not comfortable with the one cheek sneak, and I realize that some people are, a little more shook about stuff like that than others. You got this method for a stuck air bubble. It's called the hula hoop. And basically what the hula hoop does, you lean forward, and it's just like you got a hula hoop, just like that. You know what I'm saying? You could act like you're fixing your back or something like that. It's all camouflage, smoke and mirrors and shit. And what that'll do is that'll part your ass cheeks in a way for the fart to escape. The downside of the hula hoop is that you can't control where that air goes. It could go out, it could go up your back, it could go outside of your ass, it could go, literally anywhere. If you're a man, you could get this rare instance. It's called the fluffernutter. And I ain't talking about peanut butter and marshmallows. I'm talking about the fart that rolls up under your balls, lifts them, flaps them a little bit like that. It's uncomfortable at best. And depending on the dew point, the humidity, the consistency, and how much sweat's in your ass crack, it could be damn unpleasant. Like if you're in the truck or something like that and you're at work, that's a good place to fart if you work out in the field. It's probably not a great, place to fart if you're like, working a grocery store or a restaurant, or God forbid you're sitting on the bench and you're a judge or something like that. I know that judge sits on that bench and farts. He's got a big ass gown, and he sits up there and he's probably got a cushioned seat like that, and that seat probably has 37,000 farts locked in it. As he's burning people's asses to the stake, sending people to prison forever, he's just a burning farts too. I don't understand why they're so fucking cantankerous. I don't get why they're so uptight. If you have a job where you can sit there and fart constantly and nobody knows what you're doing, you ought to have mercy on the next man. Unless he's got something really fucked up going on with him. If I was a judge, as much as I fart, nobody'd ever go to jail. I'm serious. You'd have to do some serious shit. You'd have to, hurt a woman or a kid or, fucking rob a store. You had to do some crazy ass shit to go to jail. And if I got a good fart, shit, man, I might cut your brake, Okay, so you jumped into a taxi cab, you drove it through a fucking bank vault, you stole a bunch of fucking money, and you stole an airplane, whatever. I don't give a fuck. If I can fart pretty good, a man that can pass gas is a happy man. Nobody wants to live their life trying to hide something that everybody does. I mean, it's stupid. You just got to be like, in the end, like anything else, you got to be comfortable with who, where, and what you are. And me, I'm just a big old dumb redneck son of a bitch. Shout out to my beard, by the way. I was just noticing that on the camera. It's like I said, I'm very proud of this. It took me a while to grow it. I didn't do it for anybody else. I didn't do it to make a statement or a trend. I did it because I always wanted one. I did it because I never have. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about doing things that I've never done. And I've done a lot in my life. Anybody that knows me can tell you, I've done some crazy ass shit. And I know you guys are watching, they're like, man, this dude talks about men fucking in prison. He talks about shitting his pants and going to jail. And now he's talking about farts. Yeah, well, I'm passionate about shit like that in my life, To me, you have to be able to laugh. I mean, to keep from crying. I laugh at things in life so that I don't have to deal with the horror or the reality of the situation. And there's been a lot of horror and reality in my life that's hard to deal with. So those are a couple methods for you guys that are, or ladies too. I mean, and that's the thing, okay? So before I get off topic, and really, because I'm almost done with this, but before I go, a hula hoop fart's really dangerous for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because if you hula hoop and you're a woman and that thing rolls forward, you could get a fucking a cave dweller. You know what I'm saying? And a cave dweller. That's that's not, that's eventually going to come out in a queef. And I don't really feel like I need to reiterate what a queef is. I think we all know that a queef is a pussy fart. But the bad thing about it is if that bitch is bad, it's going to be a even worse queef, and you might fuck around and stain the curtains. You know what I'm saying? And by stain the curtains, I mean, curtains are a part of your house. Like if you burn bacon or you burn something, usually the place where you smell it, if you smoke cigarettes in your house, the first place you smell it's in the curtains. Well, if you send a fart up your twat, what do you think the inside of them fucking curtains are going to smell like? Some women got more curtains than others. I think we all know that. I'm going to tell you. I've seen some nice, pretty ones. I've seen some raggedy fucking beef flaps. And I've seen a couple of them that, they ought to be on a fucking Arby's commercial, man. Goddamn, I had this one girl, boy, I swear to God, behind her back when she wasn't looking, I used to call her the Big Montana. Yeah, she had the meat. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to tell you a couple different methods for releasing a fart around other people and trying not to offend them. There's a lot of different farts. I'm going to touch on plenty of them in the future. My dad actually patented a fart. It's called a bar doom. It's because it's the way it sounds. It's like when it comes out, it's like bar doom. And it's rough. I'm going to tell you. That motherfucker there will smell like somebody drove a fucking manure truck through the roof. So, avoid those whenever you can. That's the pitfall to farting. Some are worse than others. But in the end, man, they all dissipate. They all go away and everything's, peachy fucking keen again. I really appreciate anybody that takes the time to listen to my bullshit. I do this for my own mental health. I do it for my own sanity. I do it to make you laugh. I do it to make me laugh. I do it for something to do. I'm not up here trying to make $1 million. I'm not up here trying to get sponsorship. I do it for my friends. I do it for anybody that's having a bad day, because I've had a lot of bad days in my life. And I try not to just touch on things that are funny. I try to touch on things that are heartfelt and real, and that's where I'm at right here at this moment. So please, man, if you're having a bad day today, if you're thinking about hurting yourself, if you're thinking about, doing something crazy to the next person, I hope you get a moment to listen to this, and I hope it makes you smile. I hope it makes you laugh, and I hope it takes that whatever thought that is out of your head. Life's a sacred thing. Everything, every day that we wake up, it's really a blessing. And that's hard for someone like myself. I've spent 13 years and 4 months of my life incarcerated. I've seen some truly horrific things happen to people around me. I've had horrific things happen to me. And what I'm trying to get at with that is that no matter what has happened in my life, I still find a moment every day to laugh. If not at someone else, at myself. So please, wherever you are, remember, you matter. No matter how far down the chain you are, no matter how fucked up your life is, remember that you matter to someone somewhere, and if not, then you should matter to yourself. We all used to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Well, like I said, it's hard for me to say all of us, because some of us grew up in a convent, some of us grew up on a compound, some of us never grew up, obviously. But Bozo the Clown, he used to always say, no matter where you're at, there you are. So, wherever y'all are at today, there you are. Hope for a better tomorrow. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, if you had a good laugh, please subscribe, share, like, do whatever. If you don't, hey man, it's fine to tell me. Like I said, I do this just as much for the next person as I do for myself. And I might be back at you later today. I might be back at you tomorrow. Hell, I might be gone till next week. I don't know, man. I just kind of go with my gut. And that's what the art of fart is about. It's about going with your gut and getting that air out of your butt. I hope all of you have a great day. Thank you for listening.